So, good evening. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's Monday. It's been hammering down with rain where I am. Shock. But yeah, I've seen and spent all day reading tweets and on social media and stuff like that of Emery out, Emery out. This brand of football is not sustainable. We need this player. We need that player. Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? We won a game yesterday, and why is everyone just so negative? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it, right? At the start of the season, our target was to get in the top four. Surely that was the target at the start of the season. It was definitely the club's target. If Emery doesn't get that, he probably won't be here next season. Even if he does get it, he might not be here next season. We don't know that until the end of the season when his contract expires. But all I've seen all day it's just people saying Emery out, Emery out, Emery out. It's getting like really monotonous, seriously. Listen, we weren't great yesterday. We were in the first half. I think a lot of people have forgotten that we could have had 2 penalties on another day, and that could have possibly been 3-0 at half time. Now, it wasn't. We only had 2 shots on target. They only had 2 shots on target. Our goalkeeper only made 1 save. And seen a lot of people today saying to me, oh, but when we play West Ham, when we play Wolves, when we play other teams, they're going to batter us and blah, blah, blah. Go and have a look at the Premier League table and see where Bournemouth are currently sat. Yeah, because they're currently sat ahead of Wolves. And just because Wolves beat Man City yesterday doesn't mean they're going to beat us. You know, this is the same Wolves team that Chelsea banged 4 past the other week, or 5, or whatever it was, whatever the score was. Chelsea slapped them about. This is the same Chelsea team that got hammered on the opening day of the season against Man United, who haven't scored more than 1 goal since that game in any particular game. So listen, that's football at the end of the day. It's a results-driven business, and we won the game. We're currently sat 3rd in the table going into international break, which, let's be real, without Hector in the team, without Kieran Tierney in the team, without Rob Holding in the team, without Lacazette in the team as well. That's 4 players that could potentially all be starting games after the international break. They're all good enough to be first-team players. I'm sure that Emery wants to put them all into the team at some point and play all of them together. Because let's be real, the way we're set up and the way Emery wants to set up is to go down the wing, get the fullbacks down the wing, whip the balls into the box, do cutbacks, stuff like that. And that's not really happening right now. Although, listen, Callum Chambers was superb yesterday, and he did give us an option down that wing, an outlet down there. Down the opposite side, the less said about Kolasinac's performance, the better. But when we've got Kieran Tierney in there, and when we've got Bellerin in there, that makes us a completely different team. You've got the pace. You've got somebody on the left-hand side who can cross a ball. We currently haven't got that. Bellerin could help Pepe, maybe teach him and tell him, look, track back a little bit. Because second half, he faded massively. First half, I thought he was the best player for us. He scared the life out of him at times. Nearly scored a great goal into the top left-hand corner that just went over the bar. And he should have had 2 penalties. Let's be real. He was pushed in the back on 1. And the first one, the geezer kicked him in the shin and dragged him down, put his arm around his waist. So on another day, that could have been a 3-0 half-time scoreline. And we could have gone on to win that 4-5. Who knows? At the same time, did we ever look in trouble in that game? Not for me. They had 1 chance. They had 1 decent opportunity, and that was when Callum Wilson went slaloming past everyone and probably should have had a shot instead of squaring it to, I think it was Dominic Solanke. There we go. I got there in the end. But listen, we've lost 1 game this season. We've played 11 games in all competitions. We're sat top of the group in our Europa League group, 2 wins out of 2. We're currently sat 3rd in the table behind the best 2 teams in the table. And we haven't really kicked into gear yet. So all these people, and listen, I appreciate what everyone's saying. I get it. I do understand slightly what people are saying in terms of it's not sustainable. But a lot of people are just not looking at the bigger picture. They're just looking at bigger accounts online and going, oh, well, if he says that and he gets lots of retweets and lots of likes, then I'll tell you what, I'll go with his opinion. How about make your own opinion? You know, instead of just going with what somebody else says. You know, at the end of the day, we're 3rd. We've lost 1 game. 1 game. And that was to the champions of Europe. 1 game. And they haven't lost a game, well, since they played Man City in the league last season. 1 loss out of 47 games, Liverpool, in the league. So is it a bad thing that we lost to Liverpool? not really in the grand scheme of things. They're a fantastic team. They've got a decent manager. They've got great players all over the park. You know, it's anybody who loses to Liverpool. You know, it's no great shame in losing to Liverpool, is it? The way I see it, right, it's kind of weird because, you know, at the end of the day, people are saying it's not sustainable. Well, what's not sustainable? You know, people were moaning the other week, oh yeah, but Watford had 31 shots on goal. How could Watford, bottom of the league, have 31 shots on goal? Right. So yesterday, did they have 31 shots on goal? No. So do you want us to go and play that attacking, open, expansive football again and allow another team to just take the mick and have 31 shots and come back from being 2-0 up? Or do you want us to actually defend properly, like we did yesterday, by the way? I thought that was the best performance overall, collectively, defensively, we've had this season. We never looked in trouble, and they're a decent team. They'll beat a lot of bigger teams, or big teams, not bigger. We're one of the biggest, if not, well, we're definitely the biggest in London. So sorry, Chelsea and Spurs, but we are. But listen, they're going to go out this season and they're going to beat some top teams, Bournemouth. They've got a decent team. They've got a decent manager and they play decent football. So for me, I thought that was a good result yesterday. It showed that the manager can do game management. It showed that he can. Make changes, which for me closed that game out. And we still had chances as well. Let's not forget that. Aubameyang put one. I think it hit the post in the end, or came off the keeper's foot. But we still had chances in that game yesterday after making substitutes that were more defence-minded. Now I've seen a lot of people saying, oh yeah, but Ceballos, you know, when we took him off, I even said it, when we took him off, they had a lot more possession. Yeah, they did. They did, because we brought on some defensive-minded players. We allowed them to have the possession and allowed them to play in front of us. Yesterday, our goalkeeper wasn't putting us in trouble by doing this passing out to the two centre-backs when they split across the 6-yard box. Why is everybody moaning at that? Yes, it would have been great for us to go out and turn it on and do fantasy football and score 5. But at the end of the day, if we win every single game from now to the end of the season 1-0 and we finish third in the table, will anybody be crying when we've got Champions League football next season? Because I won't be. You know, at the end of the day, people just need to chill out. There's a lot of people out there that are just cut up because the previous manager got potted. There's a lot of people out there that are cut up because their favourite player is not in the team, right? Now, at the end of the day, I'm not going to go on and chat about him forever because I don't really want to. But Per Mertesacker said last month, which was what, a week and a half ago, we were in last month. He said that favourite player of a lot of people isn't doing it in training. He said that himself. He said there's a lot of other players in that squad that are doing more in training. He was asked to do what they were doing and he hasn't risen to the challenge. So at the end of the day, he ain't in the squad. Tough, right? And it's now got to the point where we'll put him on the bench. Well, why? If he ain't doing it in training, why would you put him on the bench? You know, that's like saying, I don't know. That's like saying, well, let's put Mavropanos on the bench. Well, Mavropanos obviously isn't doing it in training. You know, Mavropanos, everyone thinks the next shining light at this football club defensively. Not for me. He ain't good enough. Right now, let's just throw him on the bench. Well, why? Why would you do that? Michael, thank you for that, mate. Somebody played Russian trolls to concentrate on a.f.c. Thank you for that. Listen, I'll come back to some of these comments in a minute as well. Big up, Sam. Hope you're good. Everybody else in the chat. But why is nobody crying about Reece Nelson not in the squad yesterday? I know he's pulled out of the England under-21s or 23s or whatever it is because he's now apparently got an injury, right? Why wasn't nobody moaning about him yesterday? The guy scored in midweek, the week before against Nottingham Forest. He scored against Nottingham Forest. He played fantastic in that game. Why is nobody moaning that he wasn't in the squad yesterday? Why? Because he's not your favourite player. That's why. And at the end of the day, well, he might have been injured, Saul, but we didn't know that until earlier on this afternoon. So nobody knew that, did they? And this is the thing. Nobody knows why the manager's not picking him, like the certain player I'm talking about. So nobody knows why he's not being picked. Nobody knows what he's doing in training. The only person whose opinion genuinely counts, not mine, none of yours in the chat, the only person whose opinion counts is the manager's. And if he ain't picking certain players, he's got a reason for not picking certain players. If that means you have to cry about it because it's hurting your feelings, then tough. At the end of the day, Kenny Ken, big up Kenny Ken. The club is the star, no one else. Right now, we won the game yesterday. We won it comfortably, in my opinion. Yes, it was only a 1-0. Yes, we didn't create a great deal of chances, but when we did get our chance, we scored. You know, when we had to defend, we defended properly yesterday. That was the best we have defended all season in any game out of the 11 we have played this season. Right. So there's an awful lot of people that I see that just want to jump down the manager's throat and just get on his case. You know, a lot of these people sat there spending years and years and years telling me to back the manager. Maybe they should take a leaf out of their own book. Yeah, because I backed the last manager for 16 years. Yeah, 15, 16 years. I'm backing this one now as well. You know, at the end of the day, if it gets to Christmas and we're nowhere near top 4, then cool. You then reevaluate going into the last half of the season. We're currently 3rd behind the 2 best teams in England that are breaking record after record after record, week in, week out, and have done for over a year. So if anyone thinks that we're going to suddenly go from being a 5th place team that got battered in a Europa League final to suddenly somehow challenging Man City and Liverpool for a title, seriously, man, you need to lower your expectations. Yes, I do want to win a title, don't get me wrong, but we ain't doing it now. We ain't doing it now. We need to just chill out as a fan base and just get behind them and go, do you know what? Doesn't matter if Mustafi plays. Even me, doesn't matter if Mesut Ozil plays. When they're on that pitch, you back them. Before and after the game, I'll say whatever I want. If people don't like it, go and cry, man. I genuinely don't care, right? If people get the ump that I tweet about a certain person, unfollow my account. I didn't ask you to follow me. Do you know what I'm saying? There is a mute option and a block option. People do understand that, don't they? So the end of the day, and I keep saying the end of the day, maybe we should call this channel End of the Day. I'm going to have to stop saying that. But at the end of the day, people just need to chill, right? We're going into an international break. We're 3rd in the league. You know, we're ahead of Tottenham. This is apparently the greatest Tottenham side in living history. We're ahead of Man United, who spent more money than us, by the way, in the summer. They've done 80 million quid on a centre-back who can't defend. You know, we're ahead of Chelsea, who have got one of their club legends as manager. We're ahead of Leicester, who are apparently the next big thing. Yeah. And apparently they're the best thing since sliced bread, flavour of the month and all that rubbish. Right. This is the same Leicester side that lost to Man United, who can't win a game and can't score goals. Right. So when people sit there and go, oh, but, you know, we should be taking teams like Bournemouth apart. Wenger would have done this. Wenger would have done that. Let's not forget, we got battered by a lot of teams in them last couple of seasons under Wenger. Yeah. We haven't been battered by many teams at all under Unai Emery. Yes, we got done by Liverpool. You know, have we been battered? Yes, we got battered by Chelsea in the Europa League final. Can somebody tell me when we've been battered 3-4 games in a season under Emery? We haven't. Yes, the football's not great. Yes, the football's boring to watch, but I'll take boring 1-0 Arsenal. I grew up on that as a kid. 1-0 to the Arsenal. You score, you shut up shop. Yeah. And defence gets you higher up the table. It's as simple as that. Now, something we've been lacking for years and years and years is a proper defensive unit. I see that yesterday. I see us do that. I see us put in a proper defensive performance, and we actually went out there and defended for our lives and defended as a team. So yeah, I thought it was a professional performance yesterday, and people are just jumping on a bandwagon because certain bigger accounts are tweeting out their undying love for the best player, or the so-called best player who isn't in the squad. So now it's a case of, well, let's get on the manager's case. Well, I'm sorry, we're 3rd. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling for 15 minutes nearly. 545 of you watching live. 88 likes, so please do drive the likes up. Sergio, thank you for that. I've kicked him, mate. Appreciate that. Big up everyone in the chat. Let's read some of these for 10, 15 minutes and I'm getting myself out of here. Lee says, Emery in. Listen, I'm not in or out or shake it all about and all that rubbish. At the end of the day, we've won a football match. So what's the meltdown for? You know, if Liverpool had done that, people would have been saying, oh, it was a professional performance. It was this, it was that. If Man City did that, again, if Man United, if Tottenham done it, how many times have Tottenham played rubbish over the last couple of seasons and ended up nicking a point or nicking a win when they've not played great? You know? So when Arsenal do it, our fans go into meltdown. I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand. And then people say to me, but what's our philosophy? Our philosophy is to win football matches. We won a football match. We've lost one this season. Haroon, evening to you, mate. Pep has lost more games and conceded more goals than Emery. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They have lost 2 games this season. You know, all I keep hearing is, oh yeah, but we drew to Watford. And I remember when we lost to Watford. You know, I remember losing to Swansea. Yeah, I remember losing to Newcastle. You know, we've lost to a lot of teams over the years that we shouldn't have been losing to. But no, that's all right. That's cool. But because it's Emery, it's now not all right. Weight of expectations is ruining us, says Deben. Evening to you. Well, that's the thing, mate. Listen, people expect us to turn into a prime Barcelona inside the season. The fact and reality is we've got 4 first-team players out injured, and we're 3rd in the table, having lost 1 game to the team sat top unbeaten and won every single game. So what's the issue? At least our away performances have improved. We got battered by Rennes. Where's that comment gone? It's disappeared. We got battered by Rennes and Ukrainian teams. Well, we did, mate. So we lost to Bate Borisov. We lost to Rennes. And yeah, our away form has improved. Our away form's improved a lot. Emery out, look at Ozil's situation. Yeah, it must be massively hard work, Isaac, for somebody to take 350 bags a week to be a tourist in London. What a life. We've lost less games than City, says Mike Dean. Evening, Mike Dean. Good performance from you at the weekend, by the way. We've dropped too many points. Well, we've only dropped 9 points. So let's see how we're looking at the end of the season. You know, Man City have dropped, what, 7, 8, something like that, 7. And they're a miles better team than us. Let's be real. They lost to Wolves at the weekend. Wolves. They made that Olympic sprinter down the right-hand side look like he was quality at the weekend. He's useless. Adama Traore. All he is an Olympic sprinter. He ain't got nothing else about him. And my man scored twice at the Etihad. Seriously. Mate, some fantastic points, Lee. Just want to play with some more fluidity. It's about getting the balance right, attack and defence. That's my opinion. Evening to you, Brandon. Well, it is. And that is where Kieran Tierney and Hector Bellerin come into the mix. You know, we're playing with Callum Chambers, who's not necessarily a right back. My man played in defensive midfield for Fulham last season. You know, now we're asking him to play right back. He's a centre back. We've played with Maitland-Niles, a central midfielder, at right back. We're playing with Kolasinac, who can't cross a ball. He can't defend. So people just need to relax a little bit, man. When we get Tierney in there, and when we get Bellerin in there, and even Holding, you know, we're going to be a much better defence and a much better attacking defence. Because when them fullbacks go, we know that they've got pace. We know that Tierney can cross a ball. Bellerin's crossing got better last season. So yeah, I think we'll be a lot better for it next season. Love Kenny Ken's opinion on Ozil. He's done out here, bruv. I watched that interview. I must say that was unbelievable. What he was saying was absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Would you rather have Rashford or Saka, says Big CST? Well, I'd rather have Saka if I'm being honest. Rashford, mate, so overrated. It's unreal. Chambers has been classed as Guna Nav. Evening to you, mate. How's your day? You're looking well, says Liam. I'm doing very, very good, mate. I've won 6 out of my last 7 games on FIFA. So that's an improvement. I've changed a few things and now I'm suddenly looking all right on it. Still haven't been able to set up a stream though. For some reason, I can't get any audio on it when I link it to my Mac. So it's doing my nutting. I spent 3 hours looking at it earlier, and I just thought, you know what, long. Holding should replace Socrates and move Louise into Xhaka's position. Says David. Who else would you play at centre back with him then, mate? Because then you're taking both centre backs out, putting one in. For me, I'd go Holding and Louise as the centre back pairing. Nearly 600 people watching. Thank you very much. Do stick a like on the video. Do subscribe if you're new. Well over 29k now. Closing in on that 30k barrier. So thank you to everyone who is subscribed. And thank you to over 20,000 who watched the watch along yesterday. That was mad. Little bit boring in the second half. But the first half, I thought we were great. So yeah. Shows you playing FIFA now then. Yeah, I am playing FIFA now, Gary. Evening to you. Like I said, I'm trying to set a stream up on OBS. You have to use OBS to stream, and through the game capture and all of that, mate. It is drama to try and set up, mate. It's been doing my nutting. I had to order another wire because I had the wrong USB. I've ordered that, and now I can't get any audio whatsoever on OBS. So there's no point just streaming with no audio. It'd just be stupid. So I'm going to look into it again a little bit later after my dinner and see what I can do. How can the media not have been talking about Spurs? Says Screwflex. Evening to you. Thanks for your kind donation as well, my friend. The reason I haven't spoke about them is because they're the golden childs of the Premier League, aren't they? The golden children of the Premier League. So I think they've only won 5 out of their last 20 games, something like that. I don't think they've won away from home since January, something like that. It's mad. I can't remember the exact stat, but they have not won hardly any games away from home since then. So the demise is real, you know. You are cutely. Thank you, Bastille. Thank you. I hope you're good, by the way. Evening, Lee. Hope you're good, fella. Evening, Gary. I am very good, mate. I am very good. South London's finest in the building. Hope you're good as well, bruv. I trust the process. Raul knows what he's doing, so let's just chill and hope we get top 4. Ozil is done, and I don't. And let me read that again. Is done. I have no doubt that we are looking to replace him. Well, that's the thing. Ceballos could be the answer. I've seen the same usual big accounts tweeting out their undying love for him, trying to mock Ceballos in the meantime, quoting chances created. Listen, chances created is the most irrelevant stat on the planet. It's nearly as bad as the assist stat, you know, or the pre-assist, because chances created, well, Pepe created a chance from a corner. It's a hit and hope. Yeah, he got an assist for that. It's a hit and hope. Yeah, he just whipped it into the penalty box and hoped for the best. It's not an assist, is it? Kevin De Bruyne is what an assist maker does. He puts them on a plate 1 yard out. That is an assist, not just whipping a corner in. So yeah, good evening to you, Isatu. I hope you're well. Also, I'm very good. I swear, some of you lot are mad. You ask me some right off-key questions, you know. The football is boring as hell. Well, nobody's forcing you to watch it, mate. Nobody's forcing you to watch it. At the end of the day, if you want boring football, or you think that's boring football, go back to the George Graham days, mate. That was boring Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Score a goal, shut up shop. We're just going to defend and keep the ball. You know, and if we score a second, fantastic. But you know what? It won us titles. So we've gone with the high press under Emery. We've gone with the running around like headless chickens. That didn't work. It didn't get us 4th. So he's switching it up. I like the fact he's switching it up. Yesterday, I thought was the best defensive display we've had this season in any game. You know, I'm not talking about Europa League or anything like that. I'm talking about Premier League. That is the best we have defended as a team, as a unit, and a back 4 in any game this season. So why is everyone hating on that? You know, we limited them to 1 save from our goalkeeper. 1. So why the issue? I don't get it. Listen, if we come up against Man City and teams like that and do that, nobody's going to have an issue, are they? You know, if we come up against Liverpool and do that at the Emirates, nobody's going to have an issue. But because it's Bournemouth, all of a sudden it's an issue. You know, and because we dropped points against Tottenham. Well, listen, Tottenham are a decent team. Yeah, they're slipping at the moment, but they're still a decent team, and they're a more settled team than we are. You know, Watford, yeah, that was a cock up, but at the same time, you know, there was a lot of reasons for that cock up. You know, when our captain's coming out saying that the players look scared on the ball and stuff like that, you know, that's where you've got to get your captain to rally the troops and say, oi, just slide down, pass the ball about. We should have won that game, but we kept going to attacking. Emery's learned from that, and we didn't go to attacking at the weekend yesterday. We kept the ball, and we tried to go for more goals, but the first objective was to keep that lead, and we done it. Get lead to 30k. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Do you think Arsenal can get a result against City, or when we take Liverpool on at the Emirates? Says Deep House. Evening, mate. Good question. Well, that's the $64 million question, isn't it? Listen, Man City came to the Emirates last season, first game of the season, and they were walking, mate. They were that good. It was too easy for them. They don't look the same outfit right now, but we've got them next month. No, we haven't. We got them in December, I think. Yeah, I think we got them in December. I don't know. We'll see where we're at in December and see where they're at. Liverpool, we got a draw against them last season at home, and they were taking off strikers and bringing on Matip. Do you know what I'm saying? Another 5 minutes of that game, mate. Then yeah, we probably would have won that. So can we this season? Of course we can. We're Arsenal, mate. We've got a chance in every game. It just depends on whether the players fancy it and whether the manager can do his job properly on the day. So I don't know. We shall see. The McManus says, I'd rather take a 1-0 win and shut up shop if it means we win things like the George Graham days. Thank you, mate. See, you must be around the same era as me then. You're probably about my age then. Yeah, because anyone who's watched boring Arsenal knows that yesterday, that's how you win games. You get a goal, you shut up shop. If you're not being able to break them down, then they're defending resolutely. You make sure you don't concede. It's as simple as that. And we did that. De Bruyne's a sick note. That's why they got beat. I must admit, he does spend a lot of time out injured, doesn't he? What is your top 4 predictions right now? Says Anonymous. I'm still going to say City are going to win the league, you know. I think City will win it. Although Liverpool are looking decent. I can't even lie. They are looking fire at the moment. So I'm still going to go City. I'll go Liverpool 2nd, us 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Tottenham 5th, Man United 6th. If Man United don't fix up and they're still slacking, I'd put Leicester in there over them. But for now, I think if they do click, I think they've got something a little bit more in terms of attacking players when some of them come back. So obviously, if Vardy gets injured, it's going to be a different ball game for Leicester, isn't it? But they're looking good at the moment, Leicester. They're doing very well. They were unlucky against Liverpool. DVS Dallas, good morning to you, mate. I'm 39, mate. George Graham knew how to win things. There you go. I'm 37. Arsenal won't make top 4 playing like this. Well, we've made 3rd at the minute playing like this, so it's going in the right direction, Sydney. But I understand your concerns. Listen, don't get me wrong, but we're not going to play like this all season. We're going to play them. We're going to spank teams at certain points of the season. At the end of the day, you have to play to your strengths sometimes. And our defence, our defence when it's back with Bellerin, Tierney and Holding, we're going to have a solid defence. So we can attack a little bit more in games. When we haven't got that, we need to defend properly. And that's what we did yesterday. We got our goal off a corner. We defended and see the game out. I'll take that and be bored all season if it means we get 3rd, if it means we win a trophy, whatever. I'll take that all season. Nearly 600 people still watching live. Do slap the likes over 200, 21 away from that. Try and get it to 250, please. If you haven't liked, do go and like. Also subscribe if you're new. I will be back at 9 o'clock, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I am going to be doing a couple of watch-alongs for the England games. Me and Chig are going to be doing them, so keep your eyes peeled for that, because that is boring football. So anyone who was bored at the weekend, don't watch England, because that is boring football. International football is dead. Well said, Lee. I've supported Arsenal over 50 years. Boring 1-0 wins at Highbury with George Graham. We used to win the Premiership and League One. Exactly. Do you know what? Do you think anybody who turned up to Highbury under George Graham expected 5-0s? They all went there knowing if we score, it's game over. They could have all gone home after we scored. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we were never going to concede. You know, but that stadium was rammed every single week for home games. Do an Ireland versus Switzerland watch along. I don't even know when that is. I might do. I'll have a look into it, mate. I can't promise nothing. Do you think we need to buy in January? And if so, what position? Says Hamza. Good question. I think we're going to get a centre-back, or try and get a centre-back. I think that's what we should be doing, if I'm being honest. Mustafi's done out here. He's done. I think Socrates is as well, if I'm being honest. Rob Holding, David Luiz, but David Luiz is the answer going forward. I don't know. But in saying that, we've got Saliba coming in. He looked good last night. So I don't know, man. Maybe another midfielder. Maybe somebody better than Xhaka. Depends what they want to do at the end of the season with Xhaka, whether he's going to stay or not. So I don't know, mate. Emery is a liar. He said he'd rather win 4-3 than 1-0. What do you want me to say to that? Sold Xhaka in January. If only we could, mate. Tobias is here just to show Real Madrid he can play first team football. He said it. Well, that's all well and good, but at the same time, Real Madrid might not want him. Maybe Pochettino could be their manager very soon. Who knows? And maybe they won't want him. Maybe they'll take Eriksen over with him. who knows? He's out of contract, isn't he? So, right, I'm going to do one more question. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to do one more. Emery lied about Ozil too. Mate, listen, if we're going to go down the route of lies, go and have a look at the previous manager's 20-year back catalogue, bruv. Yeah. Nobody available. There's the biggest one of all. Right, let's do one more proper question. Give Bayern Munich Ozil so we can get Gnabry back. Well, there you go. We'll end it on that. Thank you very much to everybody who watched live. I will be back at 9 o'clock, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Notifications, stick them on. If you didn't get one, turn them off, leave it 10 seconds, maybe unsubscribe, then resubscribe and turn them back on. Do something like that. I don't know. I don't know how it works. But I will be back at 9. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like the video before you go. And thank you to everybody in the chat. Do appreciate it. And laters, peeps.